to week 3 of Happy, Lean, and Serene. And as much as I really enjoyed talking about vision boards last week, I'm even more excited about the topic this week, I think, because the morning routine is something that is so precious for me. And it's actually a really popular topic. I feel like all the bloggers have videos on or blog posts on their morning routine. All the wellness websites talk about the importance of a morning routine. And I think the reason is because actually it is kind of a game changer. And I don't know when I started having a morning routine per se. I think that years and years ago, my mornings were probably very kind of unconscious, and I would just go through the motions and all that. And then eventually, and I found mornings to be very unpleasant and stressful, to be honest with you. And then eventually, I think when I started focusing more on my wellness, and also when I started developing a spiritual practice, I started kind of incorporating all these little rituals in my morning, which make, for me, the morning is the most magical part of the day. I also love the idea of having a morning routine that's something that makes you happy, because then after that, the rest of the day often is out of our control, how things go, and often it's based on other people's agenda. And so I love doing my morning routine and just doing something that makes me really happy in the morning, because then, the shit can hit the fan the rest of the day. And I'm like, I did my thing in the morning. I did what, matters to me. And so then I'm kind of okay. So I'm going to break down what my morning routine is. It's super important that you do you. So whatever works for you, whatever works for me might not work for you. For example, I don't have kids, so my mornings, I take 2 hours to get ready in the morning. That said, I go to bed really early to be able to take that 2 hours, and I get up really early. So I usually get up around 5:20. My alarm goes off at about 5:20 in the morning. Sometimes I'll snooze it for 10 minutes. Sometimes I won't, depending on how rested I am. And my alarm will go off. I'm going to go in the kitchen and I'm going to make myself a hot drink. So I boil some water and I just squeeze half a lemon. Sometimes I might add a little piece of ginger. And the goal is just to have something nice and comforting, and for the first thing that goes into my system to be really something really clean and that actually kind of gets my system going. So I don't do coffee. Coffee does not agree with me at all. So that's not something that's part of my morning routine at all. And I just there's just the warm water. It's just nice and comforting and pleasant. I really like waking up in a very gentle way, and so that's just kind of part of the routine. So once I get my hot water with my lemon, I actually come back to bed, which could be dangerous, but I have my light on, and just the fact that I've been moving around and stuff, I'm usually kind of semi-awake by that time. And I do that. I put my hot drink on my nightstand. I turn on my diffuser. I put some essential oils. Usually I'll put some lavender essential oil, just kind of create a little mood, a little nice, relaxing, inspiring mood. And I will meditate between, I would say, 5 minutes, and on the weekends I would say it's probably 20 minutes. So if in an ideal world, I would meditate every day for 20 minutes, but during the week it's a bit more difficult because I actually have other things that I want to do in my morning routine as well, and it would take me 3 hours if I did a 20-minute meditation session. So I usually have my favorite one is actually on my phone. There's a lot of different meditation. There's apps, there's Headspace, it's really amazing. And obviously I'm going to leave some links below as well, because I've talked about that before on the blog. Some of my favorite meditations. Most of the meditations that I use are free, so I haven't really paid for that yet. I've been able to find a lot of free content that's really good. So I like the Oprah and Deepak Chopra ones, and for the last, I don't know how many months, I've been always doing the same one, and it's about gratitude. So I think starting your day focusing on gratitude is a great way to feel happy and serene. So it's a 20-minute meditation, but I just kind of do during the week. I just do the first 5 minutes, and just that, right away, it kind of, rather than my mind going to my to-do list, going to maybe something negative that happened the day before or something that I'm not looking forward to in my day, it focuses my mind on something positive. And once again, I'm just kind of recentering, remembering what matters to me and what I'm grateful for. So it just creates a nice internal feeling, and I think that's really important to start your day with the right mindset and focusing on the right kind of thoughts. So let's say 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on the day. I have my hot drink next to me. It's just a really nice kind of gentle way to start the day, a very positive way. Once again, it's a very conscious way. I consciously choose to start my day in a positive way. I don't check my emails. I don't read news stuff or anything like that in the morning. I kind of try to isolate myself from the external world for at least 1 or 2 hours in the morning. morning before I then get bombarded by the realities of life and all that. So after the meditation, then usually my Tone It Up app alarm rings to tell me that I have a 6 o'clock class starting on the app. So that's not always easy. I will admit that sometimes when it rings 10 minutes before the class, and I'm like, how am I going to be doing jumping jacks or burpees in like 10 minutes? It's like, I can't rely on how I feel at that point, because if I felt like that, then I would just never work out. But usually within the 10 minutes, I'm getting dressed and all that, like turning all lights in the house. Then I'm kind of sort of ready to go at 6. But anyways, the class starts, I'm there. I show up for myself, and I do about a 30-minute class. On the Tone It Up app. I used to do a lot of Tracy Campoli videos as well. My morning workouts would vary between 30 minutes to an hour. I rarely do an hour now. I just don't have the time with all the other things that I do. So I usually do about 30 minutes. I just try to move my body in some way 6 days a week. So I take one day off usually, and I just do, that's what makes me happy. So you have to see what works for you. But for me, moving in the morning is really, really important to me. It's part of like, once again, that ritual to like honor my body, do something good for my body, because honestly, the rest of the day, I'm usually like sitting on my tush, and I figure that's not great for my body and the stress that I bombard it with and all that. So that's really, really important. So I've taken care kind of the spiritual side with the meditation, then I've taken care of the physical side with the working out, and then the last step that I do in like kind of like my morning ritual that's really important to me is I have a nice smoothie. So that makes me really happy, and I know that I'm putting something healthy in my body that's going to help fuel me for the day. I'll link some recipes below. Obviously there's a ton of possibilities for your smoothie. I like always incorporating something green. Usually that's baby spinach. I like incorporating like superfoods like little berries that are really like good antioxidants. I always include a vegan-based protein powder as well, some almond milk, and all sorts of other good stuff like that. So that kind of summarizes everything that I do that for me is like really important. Then the actual getting ready part begins, where I have my shower and I do my hair and my makeup and all that stuff. But for me, what really, really matters is all the steps before that. So as I said, it's something that's takes some time to do, but for me, it's worth going to bed early and then getting up early to create that time for me. So I think like the excuse of I don't have the time, I think you can usually replace that with like, it's not a priority. And I know, like, I don't have kids. I know like some people have one child or two children or three or whatever, like, it can be really hard, but maybe you don't have to do that whole process. Like obviously what I do is quite a complete process. Maybe you want to meditate for 1 minute. The working out, like honestly, I do think that it's really, really part of an important morning ritual to be happy, lean, and serene. Because obviously, the lean part, you know, your body needs to move if you want to either lose weight or stay healthy. Exercise, it's not optional. Like human beings are made to move, so that's really important, and it helps you so much deal with the rest of the day after. For me, it really, really helps me deal with stress. It puts me in a really good mood. Like I arrive at work, I'm like, hi, so it makes me a better person, a better, you know, boss and employee and colleague and all that. So I really believe in the importance of moving, and I like the fact that you do it in the morning and then it is done and you have no excuse. Because for a while, years and years ago, before I started working out in the morning, I would try to do it in the evening, and I had a million excuses. That, I mean, I was hungry, I was tired, I was finishing work late, I had social activities, and when I saw after a while that there was always some sort of an excuse for me to not work out, I was like, okay, this isn't working. I need to figure something else out. So that's when I started doing it in the morning. And at first, and I used to be somebody that used to get up really late, so it's pretty miraculous that I get up at that time to exercise. But I've been doing it for years and years and years, and it just becomes, it's not even a discipline anymore. It becomes just part of your routine, just part of like your what do they call it? There's a mon hygiène de vie, like it's just my like daily routine, where it's like if I didn't brush my teeth, I'd feel kind of really weird. Well, when I don't meditate or if I don't work out, I feel like something's missing, like there's something I didn't do that was important. So for me, that just creates a beautiful, beautiful foundation for my day. And as I said, like the rest of the day sometimes can be kind of crappy, things can happen. But if I did that for myself, if I showed up for myself, I did something that's good for me, you know, for my body, mind, and soul, then the rest of the day is kind of like whatever, okay, like bring it and I'll deal with it as best I can, but at least I did that for myself in the morning. So I think that's where like the magic of the morning routine really resides, is that once you've done that, the rest of the day you're just going to go out there in the world just like everybody else, but it's kind of like you have like this little secret like in your back pocket where you're like, heh, yeah, like bring it, whatever. I've done this for myself in the morning, and like I can really attack the day. I can feel confident. I can feel more peaceful. Like I said, I think having a really good morning routine can really help you deal with some of the challenges that the day can present. So I would love to know, do you guys have a morning routine? If you do, what do you do in the morning? How long does it take you? I know I'm like an extreme case, but what can I say? It works for me. And if you don't, are you going to try one of these steps? Like if you do decide to create like a morning routine for yourself, try to maybe like not go all out. Start, as I mentioned in the Healthy and Happy for the Holidays series, baby steps. Lower the bar, manage your expectations. So maybe don't try to incorporate all that, and like, and if that means getting up, an hour early or more, maybe just get up 10 minutes earlier or 15 minutes. So go to bed a little bit earlier and just maybe do the meditation at first, maybe 1 week, and then maybe the next week just maybe do 15 or 20 minutes of exercise. And sometimes if there's mornings, like especially in the winter where I find it really hard getting up in the morning, or if I've gone to bed a bit too late, I will just move for maybe like 15 minutes, or I just want to do something. I just want to move my body and also stay in that routine where it's a habit, and I don't have to like then the next day be like, oh yeah, I have to like, convince myself and like prime myself and motivate myself, because it's just something I just do in a routine matter. Like I've done it for so long that it's not even a question in the morning where I have to convince, am I going to work out? Like I'm going to work out. It's just, am I going to brush my teeth? I'm going to have a shower. Yeah. So I had done posts on this a long time ago. I had done videos, and I said I have to redo one. And for me, this is part of your toolbox for 2019, Happy, Lean, and Serene, because a morning routine that brings you happiness like that, where you honor your body, mind, and soul, is such a great way to really stand in a place where you're setting yourself up for success for your day, for your week, for your month, for your year. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach me at info@redfairyproject.com. You can find me on Instagram at Red Fairy Project. You can find me on Facebook. And yeah, don't hesitate. There's going to be some tools for you below, as always. And I will see you very soon. Have a wonderful week. Bye.